people of the world. Matthias Griffin back with you here for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Live here on Twitch, as this year we have our very own Rika Sasaki walking in the footsteps, as it were, of our Stormblood Warrior of Light Corinne by dressing up as the Sugar Plum Fairy. Last year Corinne had the opportunity to do it, and this year she's passed on her crown to Rika. And so tonight, here on a very beautiful evening here at Mikedo's Amphitheater in Gridania, we will go ahead and partake in the Starlight Celebration for this year, which actually is going to be more involved than any other event under normal circumstances that has ever been done in Final Fantasy XIV. They must have really wanted to make up for the lack of a All Saints Wake, a lack of Halloween this year, and they really went full force on Christmas. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and find our person of interest in the throng of humanity. And here somewhere we will find the always amiable and always happy Angaranji, and we'll go ahead and speak with her as we get on our journey for Starlight Celebration 2020 with a level 15 quest entitled A Festive Fiasco. 'Tis that season of the year again, and Amgaraji is making plans for an extra special Starlight. Well, if it isn't my favorite adventurer, I see the saint has once again guided you to me in this most wonderful of seasons. Truly, your very presence is a starlight miracle. That said, I'm afraid I must apologize. There's been a bit of a rub, you see, and as such, we are not quite ready to kick off the festivities as of yet. And why is that? How shall I put it? Our troubles began when we encountered some unexpected delays in deciding on a theme for this year's event. Things spiraled from there, and as a result, we were left with far too much to do in far too little time. As a result, we set up and have been forced to recruit helpers of all stripes, from small children to strapping adventurers like yourself. Speaking of which, you wouldn't perchance be willing to lend a hand, would you? Of course I would. Oh, thank you, my friend. I dare say your generosity truly embodies the Starlight season. Without further ado, allow me to explain the tasks we would ask of you. Yeah, let's go into detail on what we can expect this year, as we are joined by this game's version of Santa, Godbert Mandeville, dressed up as the Saint of Nemea, and still sans pants. How do you do it, man? Ho ho ho! It would seem you found a most promising helper for me again this year. Another adventurer? And I suppose this one too will also be wanting some kind of reward for their services, I'd say. Sometimes I wonder if this whole Starlight business is worth the effort and the coin we pour into it year after year. Yeah. This year's Starlight Celebration has its own version of Scrooge. Must you be such a killjoy, my young friend? Just look at the faces of the children around you. Why, each year they spend moons waiting in eager anticipation of this most joyous of seasons, and the most delightful presents they will receive. Ah yes, the presents. Worthless trinkets foisted off on naive young fools in hopes of making them forget the mundanity of their everyday existences. If we truly wanted to bring joy to people, would it not be more prudent to invest in things that might actually improve the quality of their daily lives? Yeah, and Gulliver's like, you just don't get it, kiddo. Allow me to introduce Connito Halito, first son of a prominent family of surveyors in Uldar. He's journeyed here all the way from the Sultanate to help us prepare this year's festivities. Standing beside him is the Saint of Nemea himself, a man who no doubt needs no introduction. Let me state for the record that I did not come here merely to deck the streets with gaudy lights and trinkets. I initially proposed to Father that we do away with all this mummery and transform this festival into something that would contribute more directly to the mutual economic prosperity of our nations and the realm as a whole. But did he listen? No. He simply muttered something about how he didn't raise his son to be a stuffy, spoiled sport and all but demanded that I accompany the Saint of Nemea here to learn something about holiday cheer, whatever that's supposed to mean. Yeah, definitely a Scrooge. Come now, Connito. I understand that you are serious about your family business, but I dare say it wouldn't hurt for you to lighten up from time to time. Here, perhaps this will put a smile on your face. Do you mean that truly? If I help you, can I get a present too? Yeah, we have a young Lady Alison who's coming to join us too. But of course, my dear child, behold the twinkle box. Yeah, this fantastic star with a variety of colors and a whole bunch of decorations surrounding it. Tucked beneath the many lids of this casket are hidden all manner of delightful wares. Why, they've been fashioned especially for this year's festivities by some of the realm's most celebrated crafters. For every task you complete, you will earn the opportunity to pop off one of its lids and help yourself to the contents within. And that's just the start of it. Needless to say, there'll be even more glorious gifts in store for you when the preparations are complete and the Dana always likes to make that entrance, doesn't it? Always at the worst possible time. There'll be even more glorious gifts in store for you when the preparations are complete and the festivities can kick off in earnest. You can think of this chest as something to tide you over in the meantime, and as our way of thanking you for lending us celebrants a helping hand in our time of need. What do you say, child? Wow, this is wonderful! Mother and Father say I have to help out around the house during Starlight, so I don't know if I can come back. But I have plenty of time to help now. Just say what you need and leave it to Isan to get things done. Isan, is it? What a generous girl you are. Thank you ever so much. Needless to say, we prepared some very special presents for adventurers like you as well, so I hope you can collect and enjoy them all. Yes, isn't that all so special? Now, if we're done getting all giddy about trifling baubles and toys, I should be getting back to work. All those starlight trees aren't going to decorate themselves after all. Yeah, now if you'll excuse me. As the Saint goes after him. Now then, if you're ready to get started, simply head west from the amphitheater and speak to my colleagues stationed before the water wheel huts. She'll be happy to explain all you need to know to get started. Leave it to us, Sam. We'll take care of it for you. And so away we go. Our first person of interest to speak with is the Saturnine Starlight Celebrant, who's not that far across the river. So as daytime has arrived here in Gridania, let's go speak with our celebrant and see what he has to say. An adventurer? I was expecting Isan, but I suppose you'll suffice. I'd like you to get to work immediately, taking down the decorations nearby. Wait, what? Hold your chocobos now. It's not as if we're calling off the celebration. It's simply that, well, you met Connito, yes? He was in charge of this area, and let's just say, his sense for what's appropriate for Starlight leaves something to be desired. Yeah, which is indicated by the jack-o'-lantern that you see. Yeah, all the jack-o'-lanterns that didn't get used for All Saints' Wake this year got put to use here. Is that being economical? Or efficient? I don't know. Maybe it's just being lazy. I can handle things here by myself, so I'd ask you to head to the Carpenters Guild and take down any seasonally inappropriate decorations you might find. When you're through, you can bring the inappropriate ornamentation back here to me, and I'll see that it's properly stored away. Well, let's go find these things. These indecorous decorations include, not the least of which, another jack-o'-lantern. But if you think it's just jack-o'-lanterns, well, there are also Easter eggs from Hatching Tide. How did you get this stuff there, Connito? And if that weren't enough, the most polar opposite thing to the Starlight Celebration, Moonfire Fair bombs. Yeah, it's not summer, Connito. It may be an older 365 days of the year, but we do things differently! So let's take this all back to the Starlight Celebration, and I don't know what I got my foot cut on. And so back over here. I can have, yeah, so now that we've given him what he needs. Ah yes, that should do it then. Isan here finished cleaning up her assigned area as well. In half the time, I might add. Did you see some of those so-called decorations? It's as if this man has never attended a single day's worth of Starlight festivities in his life. At any rate, I suppose I'll see to it that the ornaments you took down are replaced with something more festive. In the meantime, I'd appreciate it if you could report to Arm in my stead. Of course, leave it to me! Yeah, Isan is very eager, as you can see. And why wouldn't she be? So let's head on back. Oh, looks like some people are not only dressed up for the occasion, are also getting into some dancing too. Let's head back to Am. It's now surrounded by even more people. Am, we're back. Thank you for all your help, friend. I promise we'll get our act together one of these years. In the meantime, we truly appreciate your saintly efforts in helping us see that every child has a smile on their face at Starlight. Allow me to apologize on Connito's behalf for the extra work he created for you. The boy has much to learn, yes, but I have no doubt that he will come to understand what the pure spirit of the season is all about in due time. In the meantime, allow me to express my gratitude for all you have done in true Starlight fashion, with a present from the Twinkle Box. Go ahead, help yourself, and remember that there are more gifts waiting for you if you're feeling inclined to lend us your aid again. So upon completing each of the tasks assigned to you by Amgaraji, you may open one of the lids of the Twinkle Box and help yourself to one of the presents inside. Although the way that they go about it, they automatically tell you which of the versions of the Twinkle Box you're supposed to open. So we'll open this one. And each of these particular portions of the Twinkle Box holds a whole bunch of magic prisms. Which includes, for our first quest, 99 numeral 5s. Yeah, get ready because it's a numbers theme this year. And now I'm just completely surrounded. If only briefly. Oh, and lest I forget, I'm not the only one who truly appreciates your efforts, far from it. We've been receiving messages from the realm over, thanking you and your fellow adventurers for all you do for the people of Eorzea each and every day. My colleague Bayfield here in the amphitheater is holding on to them all, so if you're curious, simply say the word. He'd be happy to share the words of appreciation and good cheer. Missives of gratitude from across the realm will have arrived in time for the Starlight season. A new letter will be available to read each time preparations for the festivities are successfully completed, so be sure to take a break from your efforts from time to time and speak with Bayfield. But we'll make it a point to cover all of his letters at the end of the series. So in case you're wondering where Bayfield is, he's right over there speaking with all these wonderful people. Just in case you're wondering. And so now as Am continues to get surrounded by more and more people, let's go ahead and speak with her again to take on the second of the Starlight quests entitled Starlight Slapdashery. Amgaraji will not rest until she has seen to it that this year's Starlight Celebration is the best ever. I'm heartened to see you've decided to stick around. Apparently, there's another set of decorations that aren't quite up to snuff. Would you mind helping Isen look into the matter and fix things up? I've asked her to wait just outside the amphitheater. Leave it to us there, And away we go. So, where is this on? Right here. Oh, hello there. When I was on my way back before, some of the townspeople told me that there's something strange about the snowman over by the Shaded Bower. Ebenezer was in charge of those as well. I know that he's new to all this, but how hard can it be to make a snowman? Anyhow, let's go and see what's wrong, shall we? Obviously there. Yeah, speaking of snowmen, there's actually one right over here where everyone is standing, if I can give you a good shot of it. Yeah, it's just a tiny little one, two simple balls, carrot, two eyes made of coal, and a pretty little bow tie on its head too. Yeah, plaid no less. Yeah, not always the easiest thing to see when things are in full force during a seasonal event, but hey, you know, it's for Starlight. So we're gonna head over to the Leather Workers Guild, because that's where the Shaded Bower is located closest to. Alright, off we go. Yeah, here's the sand. How we doing? There's something strange about these snowmen, yes, but I can't quite put my finger on it. What do you suppose it is? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Near as I can tell, these things don't have any faces on them. Yeah. What's a snowman without a face? I mean, we see the hats and the scarves and even mittens sticking out too. One's even holding a balloon, but where are the faces? The snowmen seem to be facing in odd directions. Set them straight so that the start of festivities might proceed in good order. If you want to take another look from a distance, just ask me. Yeah, it turns out they already have their faces, but they're all facing the wrong way. So we got to take these snowmen and we've got to turn them around. It doesn't matter which direction you turn them because it'll always be 4 points. North, south, east, and west. So we're always turning them twice. How I'm able to turn these snowmen around without actually damaging them, I have no clue. And now over here. And now I'll turn twice. The snowmen are now facing straight so as to welcome customers to the shops. Back to Isan. All's well. How do they look now? Yeah, look how happy they all are. Yeah, they don't have to stare at a bunch of wood now. They can face people. Wow! It's as if the snowmen are all smiling and inviting us in. Who'd have thought that turning them around a bit could make such a difference? Yeah, we got you covered, Isan. Meanwhile, hey there. Oh, it's you two. Whatever are you doing lolling around here? I've already finished my latest task. Behold! Take notes and perhaps one day you'll be able to work as efficiently. Once again, Connito's decorations strike you as leaving something to be desired. Well, he's certainly not lacking for showing off impressive skill in terms of stacking gift boxes. But that's not quite how they're supposed to work. You're not making a tree. Now I see why you work so fast. Yeah, you're not making a tree out of these boxes. Why, the sheer nerve! Might I remind you that people are lucky a personage as me, as esteemed as myself, has deigned to assist with such menial tasks. In a just world, I would be placed in charge of the entire event, and you would be assisting me! That's where my true talents lie, not in making silly snowmen and putting lights on trees. You don't know the first thing about Starlight. That's why all your decorations were such a mess until this adventurer and I fixed them. What nonsense is this? Yeah, I hate to break it to you, kid. It's true. She actually understands what Starlight is all about. Well, she should. She's the Sugar Plum Fairy. She wants everyone who takes part in festivities to feel the joy of the season, and it shows in the care she puts into every little task. Don't you care about making others happy? Or even being happy yourself? Why, I haven't seen you smile once the whole time you've been here. Why, I never! I came here to do a job and against my will. Us putting up these ridiculous decorations is enough to amuse a child like you, but I am a man grown. Yeah, and I know what you're all thinking, like, he has a very feminine hairstyle, how can this be a guy? So what if I'm a child? I actually care about Starlight, and my decorations will put smiles on more faces than yours ever will. Smiles this, happiness that. Be honest, Starlight is all about getting presents, yes? Then why don't I give you some coin? With money, you can buy whatever you want. I don't want your stupid money! Yeah, now you broke this poor girl's heart. I'm going back. Yeah, hey dude, not cool. That's why you're the person who is here to be basically keeping an eye on you is not impressed. Making a poor child cry. Consider me unimpressed, Connito. And yet I cannot help but feel that there is more to that child's situation than meets the eye. I shall inquire further, and in the meantime, pray return to Amgarangi and apprise her of your progress. Oh, not done scolding this guy? I guess he's done then. Where do you think you're going? Perhaps I could stand to take my work a bit more seriously? Yeah, so what are you gonna do? Oh, wow. If that's taking things a bit more seriously, yeah. Yeah, if that's taking things more seriously, just getting rid of everything, then dude, you definitely have issues. Anyway, back to Miketo. This is time for gift number 2. Yeah, there's a bit more of an opening for her right now, or so we thought. Hey, welcome back, friend. Thanks to your tireless efforts on our behalf, I'm pleased to report that we are closer than ever to getting the festivities in full swing. Don't forget to help yourself to another present from the Twinkle Box. I dare say you've more than earned it. Thank you so much. And so, we'll take from the Chocobo portion of the box. And so, we'll also get ourselves another wonderful delight from We'll take our experience, plus now we have number 4 magic prisms. Don't worry, there's a joke attached to the next one. If you've been following my channel for some time. Another thank you letter has arrived from one of your admirers. Speak to Banefeld and Miketo's amphitheater to see what it says. In the meantime, let's move on to our next task. Entitled, The True Spirit of Starlight. Amgarangi remains hard at work preparing for the Starlight Celebration of a lifetime. Thanks in no small part to your tireless efforts, I dare say we're on track to begin the festivities sooner than I had anticipated. That said, I fear there's still more work to be done. If only I weren't so utterly useless. Yeah, Connito's in this throng of humanity too. Of course, given who he is, it's not surprising he's hidden. Did you see something, Connito? Yeah, I know you're in there. Me? Oh, it was nothing. Nothing at all. You know, if you say so. At any rate, the next job I'd like to entrust to you is preparing the tree. Speak to my colleague in the Acorn Orchard over in New Britannia, and she'll be happy to brief you on the task at hand. We'll do just that. And away we go for round 3. So since they said to go back to the main Aetherites over where New Gridania is, that's where we'll go. And so upon arrival in New Gridania, for those not familiar, the Acorn Orchard is just beyond the Carpenters Guild, which is conveniently right next to the main Aetherite here in Gridania. So this is where we're heading off to. Yeah, it's pretty much hidden behind the corner from the Order of the Twin Adder, too. So let's speak with our Starlight Celebrant over here, and not you, Connito. Are you here to help? Remarkable, splendiferous even. I've just been inspecting the trees that have been put up around town, and I couldn't help but notice that something was amiss. And what's that? See here, part of the trunk has been gnawed away, as if by an animal or the like. Were any more damage to be done to the tree, it might fall over, and that would be most perilous for any small child who happened to be standing beneath it at the time. I had in mind to call for a skilled wall worker, that perhaps they might examine the tree and reinforce it for us. Might I ask you to head to the Carpenters Guild in my stead? This adventure will be going, you say? I suppose that means you won't be needing me. Very well then, I shall inspect the other trees, or the like. Well, if you think you can do that, just don't get too carried away. And away we go. So yeah, we will go right into the Carpenters Guild to find our capable carpenter. Just open the door and there they are. Hello there, what brings you to the Carpenters Guild during this season of celebration, friend? We need your help with something. Some cute little woodland creatures have been chewing away at your starlight tree, you say? Well, that won't do at all. I dare say this calls for an investigation. Yeah, hop to it. And so we'll reunite with them back over in the acorn orchard. And let's see what we got going on. I cannot thank you enough, my friend. Clearly you have summoned a carpenter of surpassing skill. I am most relieved to know that the children of Gridania need not fear any falling trees as they open the presents this starlight season. Yeah, no need to be shouting timber! Ah yes, I forgot to tell you. While you were visiting the guild on my behalf, Connito Halita was kind enough to go about inspecting the other trees in the area. I'm pleased to report that he assures me that not a one shows any suspicious gnawing or tooth marks. He's a rather dour fellow, isn't he? And yet he would seem he takes his work quite seriously. I dare say I was rather impressed at how closely he examined each and every trunk with such a painstaking eye. Like, is that so? Let's hope his haste makes waste strategy doesn't backfire. He mentioned that he was heading back to the amphitheater after finishing the job. Why, he didn't even stick around long enough to allow me to thank him for his efforts. Might you be so kind as to pass along a simple message of gratitude on my behalf? Alright, so upon our return to Mikado's amphitheater, we gotta speak with Connito first. Yeah, he's around here somewhere. Yeah, hey you. I can't help but feel that something is missing, and what could it be? Connito Halito is staring so intently at the snowman that it seems he might burn a hole clear through its body. Yeah. Yeah, the little thing that we were looking at earlier. I know. Mayhap a necklace of the finest gold with a sparkling gem inlaid would give it a glamorous appearance befitting the season. But no, I might appreciate that, but I'm not a child of Gridania. I must put myself in their shoes. Whatever sort of snowman would bring a smile to their faces. Is something amiss, or are you still thinking about what a saint said? More or less. Yeah. Is something amiss, Mr. Connito? Yeah. We heard everything. Oh, it's you. No, there's nothing amiss per se. I simply had occasion to return here, and I was wondering if there was not something I could do to further improve upon my most inspired creation. Oh, this was yours? Yeah, that's when the music suddenly stops. Who am I fooling? It's true. I haven't stopped thinking about what the girl said for bells now. Here I thought I would come here and put together a festival for the ages, and as it turns out, I can't even make a single child happy. Hell's I'm only making myself miserable as well. And yet, I must not give up hope. There's still time for me to do my job right, to earn the right to open that chest of presents and claim the glory that is rightfully mine. And so I got to thinking, that child was looking at this snowman with the most intense gaze, was she not? No doubt she saw something in it that has managed to escape me. Forgive me. I suspect my work here might take longer than I expected. Pray report to Amgaraji ahead of me, and tell her I shall be along in due time. Alright then. Yeah, how's he going to upgrade his simple snowman? We'll find out soon enough as we go back to Yeah, there aren't as many people around right now, but that can easily change, of course. Welcome back, friend, and another job well done, I am pleased to say. Hey, I was right, wasn't I? Well, what are you waiting for? Help yourself, you've more than earned it. Oh, that's my own fault for going, back, for choosing not to go the way I wanted to. Connito's still putting the finishing touches on his snowman, you say? Dare I dream that he's come to understand the true spirit of Starlight at last? For indeed, this season isn't just about gaudy lights, toys, and trinkets. If every last child is not able to find something of joy here, we have not done our duty. And to make that possible, we must first find a reason to rejoice for ourselves. Our smiles light up the faces of the children who in turn warm our hearts yet further, allowing us to further spread happiness across the realm. It is that cycle of giving and receiving, that ever-expanding circle of peace and joy, that embodies the true soul of the Starlight season. So take your present proudly, my friend. Let it fill your heart with pure satisfaction, that you might have happiness aplenty to share with your fellow adventurers, and indeed, Eorzeans the realm over. And so now we'll partake of the portion that had the tree on it. Yeah, look how happy she is. So yeah, we'll take now 99 number 3 prisms. Yeah, I'm the 3rd strongest mole amongst us. Yeah, remember that 5 years ago from Earth when I played Earthbound? There's a whole family of moles, and everyone and all of them thought that they were the 3rd strongest among them. Another thank you letter has arrived from one of your admirers. Speak to Banefeld in Mikedo's amphitheater to see what it says. And now it's time for round 4. Let's speak with Am again to take on our next quest entitled One Happy Family. Garaji is determined to make miracles happen this Starlight season. Starlight waits for no one. Without further ado, I would entrust you with the next most vital task in preparing for the festivities. Simply speak to my colleagues stationed past Apkalu Falls on the way to the residential district to the north. Alright. Yeah, there's an easy way to get to that particular area. And to get where we're going with that, we're going to head over to a place that Rika knows very well. The Lancers Guild. Although not necessarily the ones that have been used for me to show off the abridged version of the 5.35 main story, which I do need to return to. I do need to get back at that. But for now, let's help out this Starlight Celebrant over here. Back to all for your aid. Well, I suppose we could put you to use. Perhaps you've seen the snowmen around the area? Well, the truth is, we employ a little bit of sorcery to make sure they don't go melting in the event of untimely warm weather. To that end, I task you with stuffing one of these here fragments of what we call eternal ice inside each one of them. If you can see to the ones near the Mana district north of here, Isan and I will take care of those by the Lancers Guild. Pray meet us there when you're done. Thank you very much. Yeah, eternal ice. Yeah. That's the thing that people are doing too. Yeah, there are some people who are just not afraid of the cold. Yeah, there are some people who just take a look at the cold weather and they just thumb their noses at it. And finally over here. Oh, nice timing. And not so nice timing. Alright, back to the celebrants. We'll reunite with them over at the Lancers Guild. And so across the bridge we go. And now over to the celebrants again. And with that, I believe our job is done. Hooray! I trust you've seen to your snowmen as well. Excellent. I'll survey the area one last time to make sure we haven't overlooked anything. So pray go on ahead of me and report back to Omgarangi. Say, Mrs. Adventurer, is there a special someone you'll be spending Starlight season with this year? Have someone in mind, or I'm not the celebrating type. Well, as we all know, some of my characters are eternally bound to each other, including Rika, so we do have someone in mind. Oh, is that so? Then we best make the decorations extra pretty just for them, yes? I always used to come with Mother and Father, but they are busy this year. That's why I decided to make myself useful and help out with the preparations. I had in mind to make a giant snowman just for them that we could all come see together, but I don't think they'll need to stay at home, so... well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. You know, what's ever could it be? Oh, but I should get back to work. I'll see you around, Mrs. Adventurer. As the sand races off, your mind drifts to Connito Harlito, who you believe you last saw in Mikado's amphitheater. How does he fare with his allotted task? Ow! Yeah, of course I dropped my controller. Yeah, of course I dropped my controller, but yeah. There's my gift to all of you. A blooper and a live stream. But as you can see, things are a little different around here with Connito. Why, hello there, Sand. I was wondering, I was just putting together another snowman of my own. What do you think? Have I redeemed myself? Oh, it's wonderful. I was just thinking how this snowman looked so lonely. And now he has a friend. Let's make one more. Yet another, you say? Indeed. I suppose we've nothing better to do until the next delivery of ornaments arrives. Very well then, to work. Well, it appears I'll be occupied for a while yet. You've completed your task, yes? If you'd be so kind, I would ask that you report to Omgarangi for the both of us. And so, back we go to Miss Om. Let's find a way to her that we can find. There we go. Another task completed! And in spectacular fashion, I have no doubt. Just think of how many smiles you put on the children's faces today. Take your reward, friend. I dare say you've earned it. And so now we'll partake from the blue snowflake portion of the box. Yeah, look how happy she is. And so with this, not only we get the experience, but we also get magic prisms that are, well, I won't say it because I know you people out there with those particular minds are probably watching. Welcome back there, Connito. If it would not be too much to ask, we are in need of more snowman decorations. I have made an executive decision to build one more. With pleasure. I shall see that the necessary supplies are procured straight away. That said, color me surprised, Connito. Could it be that you've finally gotten into the spirit of the season after all? One could say that, I suppose. At first, I simply saw all this decorating as menial labor, trifling tasks far beneath one of my station. And yet, seeing the twinkle in young Isan's eyes every time I make a snowman or hang up a glittering star, I began to sense that I was a part of something far larger than I had ever imagined. Before long, I realized the truth, that every one of my actions, no matter how humble, were indispensable in bringing good cheer to the hearts of the children in this realm. And perhaps more importantly, that such acts were diminished if performed without similar sentiments in my own heart. Yet I fear that in realizing this, I've been consumed by the sheer responsibility of these tasks, to the point that I feel almost petrified with a desire to get everything just right. Oh, worry not, my friend. There's still plenty of time to polish your creations to perfection before the festivities kick off in earnest. So long as you've got that Starlight spirit in you, you're more than fun in my book. And mine too. At any rate, our job is almost done. But that's all the more reason we can't afford to slack off or compromise until we've seen to the last of the preparations. The children are counting on us, my friends. Yeah, leave it to us. Another thank you letter has arrived from one of your many admirers. Speak to Banefeld and Miketta's amphitheater to see what it says. And now, time to continue on, because there's still more to do, of course. We want to get all the gifts in the twinkle boxes. So let's speak with them again. My apologies, but there's much work that must yet be done before we can kick off the festivities in earnest. If you'd be so generous as to lend us a hand, we'd be most appreciative of your aid. Well, of course. Oh, for some reason they wouldn't recognize that I had highlighted her. That was weird. But yeah. With all these people around, I guess she's probably on lag or something, or whatever. So, let's move on to quest number 5 for Starlight Celebration 2020, entitled Wish Upon a Starlight. Garage's passion for decking the town with Starlight Celebrations knows no bounds. Listen up, my favorite helper. It's time to bring some Starlight magic to the Great Lone Brewery. Seek out my splendiferous colleague there. She'll be more than happy to share with you all you need to know. And off we go to that particular location. Yeah, we're heading off to the far west of the old Gridania districts. And so, over to the Botanist Guild. Off we go. So let's head over to the Splendiferous Celebrant again. Ah, it's you again. Your assistance is most welcome, friend. I've been handing out wreaths for the townsfolk to decorate their front doors, but it would seem our supply has fallen woefully behind the demand. A most generous individual at the Botanist Guild has agreed to donate some of the loveliest wolves to our cause. Might I trouble you to make the trip there and procure them for us? Of course, I can definitely do that. So I headed back on up to get to where the Botanist Guild officially is. Hey there, Miguel. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. So, our beneficent botanist is right here. Wreaths, you say? But of course, we've more than enough for one and all this Starlight. Pray take as many as you need with my blessing, and give the celebrants my best regards. Thank you very much, sir. And so, let's take them to where they need to be. Yeah, once again proving myself as a very uncouth sugar plum fairy. Jumping off of ledges. A most generous individual of the Botanist Guild has agreed to donate some of the loveliest works to our cause. Which we have right here. Look at all of these lovely wreaths. The growers of the Botanist Guild are nothing if not generous. At this rate, this should more than suffice. Thank you, friend. Look, that adventurer is getting ready Oh, they're right there. The adventurer is helping to get ready for the Starlight. Isan told me that she is too. She says that every time she finishes a task, she gets a special present. I should have helped out too. Isan, you say? The poor child. I can't even imagine working so hard with all the hardships she now faces at home. Uh-oh. Hardships? What you say? Whatever it is, what is it that troubles the girl, pray tell? I fear I'm not privy to all the details, but word has it that her parents have not left the house in ages. Isan's always running about the town all on her own. She puts on a strong face, but I can't help but worry that she's suffering more than she lets on. It wasn't always like this, mind you. I remember often seeing the three of them together. My father cut a tall, dashing figure and always adorned his head with a stylish hat. Her mother had the gentlest of smiles and was always clad in garb of matching patterns that she fashioned herself. Seeing such a loving family walk the streets together was always such a heartwarming sight. Sadly, for whatever reason, it is a sight we see no longer. That is most troubling indeed. Pray forgive me. I hadn't the slightest idea that anything was amiss when the girl came to offer her aid. I must have a chat with her. But our host of lovely wreaths here have just arrived from our friends at the Carpenters Guild. Pray help yourself to whichever strikes your fancy. Yes, please do. Yeah, time for these two to be on their way. Forgive me. Your work here is done. Pray return to Encourage and collect your reward. You've most certainly earned it. So, back to and just make sure we don't get suddenly surrounded by people. Let's go and speak with her again. Well, if it isn't my favorite helper, I thank you most sincerely for yet another job well done. Well, what are you waiting for? Help yourself to another present from the Twinkle Box. Indeed I shall. So we have our last one, the purple one with the bell. So obviously you can imagine what exactly is in this particular part of the Twinkle Box. We have our experience, of course, but we also have our magic prisms, which are number 1. And so yeah, that's more than enough magic prisms to tide you over for a long time. In the meantime, hey there, Connito. Have the additional snowman decorations arrived yet by chance? I'm most eager to get started on my latest masterwork. That's the spirit, and indeed delivered not moments ago. Splendid! In that case, Isan and I shall get to work at once. Yeah, speaking of, yeah, that little baby snowman isn't lonely anymore. And welcome back there, Saint Numia. Ho ho ho! That's the kind of good cheer I like to see. Yes, 'twould appear that the Starlight Celebration is in good hands again this year. Yeah, yes, your colleague had mentioned some troubling news about young Isen, so I took it upon myself to do some research into the matter. Whatever is the matter? Is the child okay? Well, if the ominous music playing right now is any indication, I would say the answer is no. The girl is fine, but I fear her dear father is less so. Stricken with a grievous malady, he lies bedridden with his son's poor mother tending to him every waking moment of the day. Yeah. Even though Starlight is a way to put a smile on everyone's faces, sadly this year it seems like not even this can get past the horrible reminders of what we've had to face this year. That is most distressing indeed. The poor girl, she never said as much, but doubtless she works as hard as she does in order to procure the medicine her dear father so desperately needs. Sadly, matters are not so simple. The illness her father suffers from, sadly, is a common one these days, and it is said to demand for medicine greatly outstrips the supply. No matter how diligently the girl works to earn the coin she needs, there is simply not enough of the remedy to go around. Indeed, though opening the Twinkle Box might light up her eyes, I can only imagine what she truly wants for Starlight is to soothe her father's dear pain. Or to soothe her dear father's pain. Yeah, it's not the pain that's dear, it's her father. If only there was some way we could help her do just that. While there may be naught we can do to heal what ails the man, perhaps we might be able to offer San and her family a bit of Starlight cheer in this trying time. The girl has been a most dutiful and generous little helper for us this season, has she not? If we were to find some way to dedicate this year's Starlight Celebration to her and her loved ones, and in doing so, make it the most spectacular success it's ever been, mayhap that might lift their spirits? Dedicate the celebration to her? An admirable idea, I agree, but however might we do that? Yeah, 2 words, stupendous snowman. Or if Sans father is not able to rise from bed. Yeah, if unable to rise from bed. The child said she wanted nothing more than to enjoy the Starlight festivities with her dear mother and father, you say? If only there was some way we could make that possible. As for the medicine, let me contact my associates and see if there's aught that might be done. In the meantime, might I trouble you to see to the decoration of our final and most spectacular snowman? I am confident that you understand what would bring joy to a Sans heart more than anyone. Oh, but it would seem you've already collected all the Twinklebox has to offer. Pray forgive my presumption. I suppose you'll be leaving us to return to far more important matters? Actually, let's help you one more time. 'Tis not about the rewards, you say? Truly, you are the very embodiment of the Starlight spirit, a veritable incarnation of Nemea herself. Yeah, how do you respond to that? There's Saint Nemea. Yeah, shall we go and do what needs to be done? And another missive of thanks is arrived from one of your numerous admirers. Speak to Banefeld and Mikado's amphitheater to see what it says. And now it's time for us to speak with Tom again, because it's now time for us to take on the final quest of Starlight, because yeah, even though we've obtained all the magic prisms the Twinklebox had, it's time for us to wait until the glitching is over. Yeah, it's time for us to wait for the glitching to end so that everyone can load in, because it's only getting busier and busier. But hey, it's not my fault. I wanted to do this live with you guys. So let's speak with once again, because it's time for the final quest of this year's Starlight Celebration, entitled Starlit Smiles. Garaji is putting the finishing touches on what promises to be a Starlight Celebration for the ages. At long last, our preparations have almost come to an end. All that remains is to put the finishing touches on the mother of all snowmen and give our dear little Ascend a Starlight present she'll remember for a lifetime. And with that, shall we be on our way? I'm ready if you are. Yeah, let us Mikote go and see what needs to be done. Yeah, what can us two Keepers of the Moon do for these wonderful snowmen? And look how beautifully they light up. Now, let's get to work, shall we? I prepared an assortment of decorative materials for the occasion, so feel free to let your imagination run wild. That said, we mustn't forget who our audience is. What sort of snowman do you suppose would most warm little Assan's hearts? Oh yes, you were saying how concerned she was that the smaller snowman might be lonely, yes? And how happy she was when he got a friend? Indeed. Perhaps there's a hint to be had there. What sort of decoration would make Assan happiest of all? Give it some thought, and I've no doubt you'll be struck with inspiration. Leave it to us. Reflect on all you've learned and decorate the snowman as best you can to delight your fellow helper. As the townspeople tell it, Assan's father is a tall, dashing type and rarely seen without his favorite hat. Her mother, on the other hand, was known to prefer wearing matching patterns. Yeah, I have no doubt that anyone who skips through all this stuff is just going to be going through a whole bunch of trial and error. Which is a shame, because there's a very deep story going on here. And some of it even has references to real life. So yeah, we have our smiling snowman and our beaming snowman. So the smiling snowman is obviously the female snowman, and the one on the right is obviously the male snowman. So we want to dress the female snowman in the matching patterns. So we have 4 different things to dress the snowman, and all of them have to be used. So we'll place the red knit hat on the girl's head and drape a red scarf around its neck. And then on the other side, the beaming snowman. Yeah, you notice how everyone disappears as we're putting these things on? So let's put the black silk hat on his head, while not even looking at it. Yeah, we got positioned backwards, and so now we're ending up doing it in a weird way. And finish with the green scarf. Yeah, as the Sugar Plum Fairy, I'm magically making the hat and the scarf appear on the snowman while not even looking at it. Now fully decorated, the 3 snowmen appear as if they were a family. Just looking at them warms your heart, and you can only hope his Sen feels the same. Return to Amgaranji and let her know your task is done. Yeah, she's thankfully right over here.
You truly outdone yourself, my friend. This is nothing short of a masterpiece. I've no doubt his son will be overjoyed at the sight of your little snowman family.
And so with that, we'll take our experience as well as 99 number 0 prisms. Yeah, they're all about the numbers in this version. As well as a snowman bell. For some reason, ringing this bell summons forth a behatted and begloved embodiment of festive cheer. With that in mind, it would be a shame not to ring it. Yeah, before we can officially complete the quest though, we must have a look at the cutscene. And see if everything has gone according to plan. Yeah, Am loves it. Yeah, what about you two?
Marvelous! Simply marvelous! While I am partial to my own creations, I can do nothing but tip my cap to your superior aesthetic sensibilities.
I have seen many a snowman in my day, but never one that warms the cockles of my heart quite so much as your merry little snowman family. Truly you are a snowman artisan of the highest order. It certainly seems that way, doesn't it? But hey, it's what the Sugar Plum Fairy does. And meanwhile, hey San.
Look, the snowman has a mummy and a daddy. Why, it's just like a family. Our family. Oh, how happy she must be. Did you make this, Connito? I only helped here and there. Rika deserves all the credit. How do you like this, Sen? I dare say that old snowman isn't lonely anymore. Oh yes! Now that I know she's not alone, I can leave her to enjoy Starlight with her family while I return home to my own. I'm sorry for making you do all this for me when you're already so busy yourself. Can you forgive me? I'm the one who should be asking for forgiveness, child. After all, it is you who taught this stuffy, overzealously serious fool what the true meaning of Starlight was all about.
Glad we could help.
I may not be able to stay for the celebration, but this has already been the best Starlight ever. Thank you so much for letting me help. I'll treasure the presents from the Twinkle Box forever.
Carlito, if you would. Yeah, we have something else to tell you.
But of course, those presents were simply to show our appreciation for your help. Of course, we have another present, and this one's just for you.
Yeah, we'd like to give you this. Like, whatever could it be?
Or perhaps I should say, for your dear father. Could it be? As it so happens, the Saint Nemia here happens to be a patron of the apothecary that produces this medicine. When he shared your story with the proprietor, they simply insisted that we deliver this to you straight away. What's more, they have at long last discovered a means by which they can produce the remedy in vast quantities. Rest assured that all those who are suffering as your father is will have succor soon enough.
Speaking of your father, my child, I took the liberty of delivering the first dose to him in person. From the looks of it, it would seem you may well be able to enjoy the celebration after all, and I dare say that your dear father may even be feeling well enough to join you.
Truly? A medicine that not even all the money in the realm can buy. It truly is a Starlight miracle. Yes, this season has taught me much. Coin is but a means to an end, not a goal in and of itself. If it is not used to bring a smile to those who need it most, it has little more value than a lump of coal.
I dare say you've come far in this short time, Connito. Your father will be most proud to hear this, I'm sure. Yes, you will prove a worthy successor to him, I am sure.
About that, Lord, good saints, sir, I've decided not to take over Father's business after all.
Yeah. From an old Don Lalafell? That's shocking.
It surprised me as well. Over the course of preparing for Starlight, I could feel my heart changing. Now, I am as certain of it as anything. When I return to Ul'dah, I mean to devote my efforts to doing all in my power to alleviate the plight of those who are not blessed with my privileges.
Would that include the refugees in Ul'dah? Specifically the ones who can't go home yet to Alamigo? Oh, I misjudged you, my boy. You have matured far, far beyond even my wildest expectations. So much so, in fact, that I dare say your father will have a stern word or two for me.
At any rate, I'm not returning anywhere until I've celebrated Starlight to the fullest with the children of Gridania. Is San here first among them, of course? That's the spirit, and with that, I can finally present you, Enrique, with the greatest gift of all, the one I've been waiting to give to you from the start. Let me hazard a guess. The smiles of the little ones, yes? Clearly the Starlight Spirit has taken hold in your heart now.
Yeah, he's no longer a Scrooge.
And with that, the moment we've been waiting for is finally at hand. Without further ado, let the festivities begin!
Enjoy the event there, and that includes all of you as well. And make sure to have lots of fun with those snowmen.